Hey YouTube, it's JP Dillon. This is a short little PSA video about older Pioneer speakers that have these type of terminals. Now you see how this is loose? Now, there's a problem with this style of terminal, and that is this plate here is metal. And these phenolic insulators break down. They can break down from these getting loose and chafing. They can break down from just brittle cracking in age. So what happens is if you move these in too far of a direction, it shows a short. And even if you tighten them up, it's still not right, and you'll get arcing to the plate and you'll trigger the protection. So we need to replace those. Let's get it open. So here's the back side. And you can see that it's literally an aluminum plate, and it's just insulators there. And so these insulators break down and they cause short circuits. Now you can usually reveal this by hanging an ohm meter at the terminals or connecting an ohm meter to the wires connected to the terminals and then just pressing on the terminal, jiggling it, whatever. And it will definitely reveal itself. And it's firm on this side. It doesn't feel like it's loose. You can see the glue holding it there. But let me just get the ohm meter and show you what I'm talking about. So I got some wires hooked up here and got it hooked up to the fluke. So right now I got nothing. Helps to actually hook the speakers up. Alright, so there's 8 ohms, 9, 10, 12. Let's move it in another direction. Okay, let's move it in another direction. And you're thinking, okay, well, let's see what happens when I tighten these down. Okay, there's where the terminal tightened down. I got both plus and minus pretty tight. Still not reading right, is it? And then if I just tweak the terminal a little bit, just touch it, now it's totally gone. You see the problem here? And if I bend it another way, oh, look at that. That's almost a dead short to an amplifier. So yeah, these terminals are just junk. They gotta go. So disconnect this. And like I said, they're tight on there now. I tightened them down. This one still even has slop in it, even after I can't tighten it any more than that. Still has slop in it. It's just a junk design. So we're going to switch them over to binding posts. Oh, and sorry about the wind noise. It's just incredibly hot today, and I got all the fans running. So there it is with the terminal removed. And you can see it's just literally an aluminum plate that they're just mounting it in with little phenolic insulators. And you can almost see, let me zoom in a bit. Let's turn the light on. You can see it crumbling and breaking down there. Yeah, it's hard because I'm trying to hold the camera still. And if I turn the stabilization on, it helps a little bit. But those terminals are just garbage. The insulator breaks down, it arcs into the metal, and then you get protection circuit triggering. So I'm going to drill these out slightly, and we're going to put some standard 5-way binding posts in. So I enlarged the hole to 1/2 inch because that's the size required to get the insulator for the binding post to fit in there. And yes, I know all you purists are going to scream, oh, he's destroyed a beautiful piece of vintage gear and blah, blah, blah. But realistically, now that binding post centers right up in there, and when it's secured, there's going to be almost no way that it can possibly get loose and short out against anything. That in the binding post is going to give you a tremendous more amount of connectivity options. These go down to 12 gauge solid wire. You can use spade lugs, you can use banana plugs. It's just better. You know, stop holding on to this old technology. Yeah, you may like these old speakers, they may sound great, but they have shortcomings, and you really need to take care of those shortcomings. Otherwise, you get problems like this where the terminals short out and blow up your amplifier. So, yeah. So I'm going to install the binding posts, show you what it looks like all finished up, and then we'll check the resistance again. There it is installed. Got a nice steady reading now. Working good. Put a lot of power through it and it doesn't want to short out. There's the second set. That's good to go. Nice and clean. Let's run some power through it. Time to hit it and quit it. That's why I don't like to run them with the grills on. Grills rattle. Pretty good. It's a fair amount of power. About 80 watts. Okay, you're good. Alright, so this thing's happy. Both of them are working properly now, and they both have a nice steady impedance of about 5.6 ohms. Or actually DCR is 5.6 ohms, that's about 8 ohms. So, yeah, to recap, I removed the old terminals. I use a 3/8 drill bit to cut a small pilot that's slightly larger than the original, and then bore it out to a 1/2 inch. Use a sharp drill bit, go slow, take your time. Make sure everything's clean and flat before you install. Solder up your terminals. Do whatever else you want to do inside of here. Replace caps, clean it, whatever. I'm not doing that on this one. But, yeah, so if you have the older Pioneer, doesn't matter what color terminals, these could be white, blue, black, red, whatever. The insulators break down, and these will short against this aluminum plate and cause all sorts of mayhem for you. So check it out. If you're having problems with your machine going into protect and you've got these speakers, stick an ohmmeter across them, and you should get about 60% of what the radiant impedance is, DCR. So just real quick, let me hook up my meter to this guy, and you can see, I'm just going to hang that in there. About 5.7, 5.6, that's what you should be getting constantly. This thing was all over. I could wiggle the old ones and it would go everywhere. So, yeah, public service announcement. You got old Pioneer speakers with those type of terminals, change them out. Anyways, thanks for watching.